Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lisa Ware. We are talking about recruitment. This is actually part 4. We're really going in deep because actually, as we talked about last week and the other 2, building a team is in essence what this is all about. Okay. Why? Because I love the phrase by Robin Brooks, a lot of people doing a little creates a lot. And so at some point, when you build big enough, there is always somebody somewhere within your teams signing up customers, recruiting a partner. And I think I shared with you all that on last Saturday, I was like, oh, I had a day where nobody gathered a customer, which is really unusual. Yesterday, there were 9 customers came on in the team. Okay. And I love seeing the promotions happen. By the way, just a little round of applause. I know this is not part of the coaching, but Christiane went team leader only over a week ago. Really great. Super stuff. Good stuff. Right. So recruiting. We're going to go in deeper about it all. Okay. How to recruit. What do you do? Stuff like that. Well, actually, our partner portals have got a lot of information, and we're going to go back in on and show you. So you might want to write a few notes about this stuff. And as we say in great respect, one I produced earlier, this is my desktop, the dashboard of our partner portal, and yours will look much the same. Let me just put us over into the corner. Okay. Right, so if you scroll down, and I think I showed you this last week, but there's some really good stuff. If you scroll down to the 4th of May, right, 2022, recruit to boost your business. If you click on that, hopefully you can all see this, and you get this page come up. And it's got lots of stuff. Now, we've already delved into some of it, but we're going to delve in a little bit more. So I'm going to click on recruitment skills training, because this is a good starting point. We click on that. These are the virtual trainings. And you know what I love about these is they've been brought down to a nice kind of nugget of information, half an hour, a bit like my coaching. And in fact, to share with you all, it doesn't matter where you are, you can do this because you can do it from your home. You could even have a nice glass of wine going while you're participating. Good to have a book open and a pen. In fact, I've booked myself on tomorrow nights, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And you're probably thinking, why is Lisa doing that? I'll tell you why. We all need refreshers. Do you know what? Go to the gym once a month or once every 6 months. You don't get a good body. And like everything, you need refreshing. You need to do a bit. So I'm going to do it for that reason, but also to update me as a person that recruits and helps others and supports them. Don't you think it might be a rather good idea that I should know what the training's about? Because they evolve it and they update it. I can't ask someone to go on one of these if I really don't know what it's about. So I thought, time to have a refresher. So I'm booked on that. So there's different ones at different times to suit all of our different lifestyles. So I would recommend that you book on one. They're free. It's amazing. Do you know, some companies charge a fortune for this stuff. So let's go back. So that was the recruitment skills training. Now, what about how to support your team? Let's have a look at that. Okay. So we've talked about this stuff. Adjust your mindset. Accept people who work at their own page. Focus on speaking to lots of different people, not just worrying about one or two. I hear people sometimes say, I'm working on somebody. I think, what the heck are you doing? are you doing if you're working on someone? I don't know. That sounds like hunting them down. It sounds painful. Yeah. We've talked about communicating, making note of the 4 color personalities, Big L, all sorts of stuff. We have a coaching. It's in the catalogue of all the YouTube back catalogue. It's there about the Fast Start plan. But today we're going to talk about supporting new partners, coaching partners to independence, protecting starters from negativity. Okay, now if I click this, there is a great video, guys, for you to watch. It's Wes on stage at Mastermind quite a lot of years ago. And he talks about, write this down, Guptas, Guptr, Guptas. Generally unsuccessful people talking rubbish. Do we know that there's lots of them about? Yes, we do. I'm going to talk about this, okay, because it's really important. So I'm going to take the share off so I can see you. Now, so you've just possibly got somebody that might be coming in, or you've just recruited them. Recruiting meaning that you've registered them. Hopefully they've done their 1 hour online training and you've done a fast start together. Can I tell you, in this whole period of about to and just recruited is possibly the most vulnerable time of all. This is the time when the birds get them, Jim Rowan says. Okay, so look, and I could tell you there was a birdie that nearly got me. So I met Mr. Barris, so this is good to explain, and he gave me that tape, The Guide to Prosperous Living. I was all excited when I played it in my car. I rang my late husband and said, get home quick, darling, I found our future. But when I got home, yes, the late husband turned round as soon as he heard it and said he thought it was a scam. Anyone else out there got anybody, partners, or a significant other half that possibly isn't supportive? They're there, aren't they? Yeah. They may not be the significant other half. They could be your parents. They could be brothers, sisters, best friends. I said this over and over again. My sister is never going to be a customer. Oh my gosh, she will never be a partner. She thinks what I do is absolute madness. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah. So in that beginning, we've got to really help and support them. And actually, what we need to do is keep in touch. Now, I've said this before, keeping in touch. Yes, you can drop a message, be it a text or a WhatsApp or something. But, you know, lots of people, there's nothing quite like the power of our voices, making a call. Yeah, making a nice call, having a chat, finding out how they are, asking them what questions they've got. How are they feeling about it all? Are they excited? What are they hoping to achieve? All this stuff is really, really important. And if we don't keep in touch in those early moments, they're likely to go. Now, it doesn't mean that some people, no matter how much you talk to them, do you know what? You know, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Am I the only partner that brings somebody in, they sound all excited, and then they don't do anything? And they actually don't even engage with you. No matter how many times you ring, they don't answer the phone. Doesn't matter if you do a nice little voice WhatsApp. Do you think somebody's got to them? Do you think a bird has got to them? Who knows? Sometimes we never ever find out. So there are some we have to take on board that won't come on. Or it just might be something really awful's happened. And that happens too. You know, I met a young lady, a teacher, single parent, reality, what's going on at the moment for her. The divorce has got messy, really bad. Sometimes we just have to let this stuff happen. But what we want to do is we want to keep in touch. So let's go back to where we were. I'm also going to recommend that you all watch this 10 minutes, and it's Emma Sullivan talking about being consistent. Really good. This stuff is so handy, what's here. You know, this didn't used to be around, all this, when I started. There was none of this. The only thing we could do was pick up the phone and speak to people. That was it. Oh, there was text messaging, but it was the days when you had a key and you had to press it 3 times to get the C. Can you imagine having a phone like that now? Anyway, so I want people to realise this stuff is really, really good. So let's go back to this. Now, let's talk about tools to help you recruit. Oh, try loading the page. I did have it prepared. Hang on, I might already have it. Here we go. It's this one.
So they go, mates, and singles soon in 60 minutes.
Could somebody mute? I can hear people in the background. That would be really handy if you could mute yourself, please. Right, I'm gonna have to mute them. This stuff going on.
Majestic Grace. Or spotting that last parking space. Yes. The added joy of knowing money you donate helps to fund life-saving research. £1 to play.
I don't know who's doing this, but I've got to mute them. Hang on.
See, it's a little.
Gamble responsibly over 18.
Now, honestly, now. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Right, sorry folks about that. Let's go back to where we were. Here we go. So, what tools are there? UW stories, virtual opportunity presentations. There's 4 of them now, and there's UW Life magazine. Now, what I'm going to say to you is, even when you've recruited someone, when you think you've got them, you may not have. And sometimes sending them a UW story can be something that is really good to empower them to believe they've done something right. Okay, so there are lots of them. And I really suggest that in your phone, you have it to hand in the uwstories.co.uk. And when you click on the little lines, loads of them come up. There are so many. Let's have a quick look at this. Here it is. This is the page. Okay. And there are absolutely loads of them. There are loads and loads. How you earn money. Can I say that I think this is, of my personal opinion, for what it's worth, this is better than the virtual opportunity presentations, because it explains the 3 ways that we get paid. And then there are loads of things. There's about multi-income individuals, which most people are that join this. Most people are fitting this round another job, full-time, kids, all sorts, loads of things. Helping mortgage holders. There's all sorts of stuff. A new one for teachers. One saying it's not all about work. Pensions. Coming from a hard place, the cost of living crisis. There is masses here. And then we've got things like for students, retirees, carers, teachers, families, police, tradespeople, business owners, health professionals. This is absolutely fabulous. Most of these are only about 2 minutes. Okay, they're really, really good. So I'm going to say to lots of you, if you do not know about this stuff, please go on. Perhaps have an evening, open it up and play them and know them. Really, 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 really useful. In fact, I would say that I use UW stories more than anything. And I'll tell you why. We, the messenger, can get this wrong. If we don't ask the right questions, we don't find out what people are about. Remember that when we're out and about, what we sometimes see in the appearance is not necessarily that good. You can even look at somebody's house and go, wow, they're wealthy, but we don't know what's going on in their lives. It might be about to be repossessed. There could be all sorts. It's absolutely stunning. So keep your mind open and think about yourself. And to give you an example, I am not angry with Rob Barris that he gave me this opportunity. And at the time when he did, it was possibly the wrong time, because I was working about 60 odd hours a week, full time, 3 daughters on the go, all at the worst ages. Life was busy, and my late husband and I had a good lifestyle. We had well over 120,000 a year coming in. And back in, if you go back 20 years, that was a lot of money. Some would have said, oh, it would be no point in recruiting Lisa. Oh, it was. Why was it? Well, because I was as stressed out as anything in business to business sales. And do you know what? I think in my heart, as much as I loved what I did, I was so stressed, I realised I couldn't keep this up. And when the timing was right, after those first 2 years that you all know I did 1 a month, then it became, this is my focus. I'm going to concentrate on this, because my job became untenable and I couldn't stand it and it was making me ill. So think about that. Don't think that what you see is necessarily right. And I'll tell you something else. You can ask somebody how's things, and generally speaking, they would possibly answer, oh, great. But if you peel away the layers of an onion, the tears come, don't they? And actually, sometimes you find out that life isn't so great. And bear that in mind too. So UW Stories is a great way of you not having to explain everything. You can say to people, and it's a great phrase, oh, it's not really the time and the place at the moment, but I'll tell you what, give me your name and number and I'll send you a bit of information. How great is that? And all it is a 2-minute thing to watch. And then afterwards, when you've sent it, I like it on WhatsApp because you can see when they've looked at it. And I always say, I'd love your feedback. I'd love to know what you like best. Don't change those words. I'd love to know what you like best. It's focusing them on the positives. Yeah. And then if you get a good positive, as I often do, I then say to them, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some information now about the income, the different types of income and how this works. And then I send them the one that's Ben Fogle talking to Tamsin, I think his name is Galici, and Bev Blackburn, and it explains the 3 incomes. So now you've done it in stages. You've piqued their interest, you found out what it is that's right for them, and you can send them the right story. Then you can tell them about money. If they're still interested, I would say that's the time. Pick up the phone, make a call and say, right, you're obviously really interested. How would you like to see exactly what we do? Now that is brilliant. And because what I do then is I invite them to give up about 40 minutes. And I ask them to come on a laptop with a camera on Zoom. And I say to them, I'm going to show you what we actually do as a partner. And guess what we do? We do the presentation. How good is that? And stick to what's on the screen. And usually somewhere about halfway through, I say to them, have you noticed something? Have you noticed I'm reading what's on the screen? And they go, yeah. And I say, do you think you can do that? And they go, yeah. So what you're doing is showing them this could be actually quite a simple process. Yes, there will be skills to be learned, but the actual what we do is really quite simple. And it's got simpler over the years. It's got simpler and simpler. And then at the end of it, the final screen is, well, look, that's what we show people. But I guess the right thing to say to you as well is, ooh, would you be interested in saving as a customer, earning as a partner, or both? And if they're already interested in earning the money, you're probably going to get, oh, well, both. I'll say, oh, great. So I'll show you now how we do a comparison. And so then you carry on to the quoting stage. And as you know, we sign them up as a customer first, but the company's so ethical that what happens is they register as a partner with you, then we give them back. We link their customer to them and they get it given back. So the company pays us and it pays that new recruit. And that is the best way to do it. That's absolutely the best way to do it. I see people constantly just sending out a link for someone to register themselves. Do you know that's really not it? Because I also see the application then messed up. I see, can I ask you to mute, Sean? I can hear talking in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. I see people signing themselves up and they don't even register as a partner correctly. They get their names wrong. They get all sorts of stuff wrong. And then that can mess up the application to start with. I think it's better to do what I've explained, and then I'm with them on Zoom as they register as a partner, ensuring that everything's done right, because they often don't realise you can't use a Monzo or a Revolut card for the bank. You know, there's all this other stuff that's really important. And also that what you want to do is be there with them at the point. Now, there is an argument, don't get me wrong, where you can say, if they can go off and do all this themselves, then they're going to be a self-starter. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I actually think everybody needs supporting. Could you imagine? Here we are. So you're thinking of learning to drive. And the driving instructor gives you the keys and says, right then, go on, off you go, have a go yourself. I mean, it couldn't happen, could it? This has got to be treated in the same way. We are the driving instructor and we're going to coach our new apprentice on how to do this stuff. That's what we're going to do. So UW Stories is great. There's also the 4 different opportunity presentations. Those are on your quick links on your dashboard as you scroll down. And the other one is UW Life magazine. That's a good thing that possibly to send out. You don't even have to get the hard copy. There is a link that they can read it online. I'm not sure how good people are at reading everything online. Personally, I quite like opening the pages of something and I like to flick. Yeah, I'm seeing people are feeling the same way. I find it quite hard reading everything on screen, and maybe they would too. So maybe to send out that. So look, a little bit more about recruiting. I'm going to unmute everybody. Let's see if I can do this stuff. How do I unmute? Ask all to unmute. Could you unmute yourselves? Anybody got a question? Who's got a question about some of this stuff? Anybody? Does anybody else? Yes, go on, Chris, yeah?
Not a
Me. Okay, so I liked the order that you've done it in, because I think this will also work. You know, some of my partners and that I've signed up myself, and people underneath me aren't doing anything, but we could actually, those stories might just help them, you know, come to life.
Yes, absolutely. Because I think sometimes we all need, hey, do we all have bad days? Of course we do. Yeah, we all have bad days. Yeah. And actually, sometimes I think we just need a little poke with some information as a reminder of what an amazing thing we do have. Okay. It's quite interesting. I've just been away the last weekend on the 500+ club weekends. And you know, we can all get very blasé at, oh dear, somebody's phone going. At this wonderful stuff that is given to us, rewards, which you don't get with other companies. And actually, it was for me a fantastic reminder of how good this is, the things that happen when we do what we do. I don't know about anyone else, but I mean, I worked as a police officer for a number of years. I climbed the ranks very quick. I worked for a massive company called it's called Liverpool Victoria now. It used to be called Frizzell's, and quite a high position. And I also worked for the Yorkshire Builders Society Investments. Do you know none of these companies ever gave me a sausage? Nothing. Nothing at all. And do you know what? We only actually have to gather a customer or a partner, and we even get taken out, don't we, to Pizza Express for a freebie meal. I actually find it quite amazing. So I think keeping engaged with people is the key to lots of it. And I'm going to say sometimes ringing somebody is great, but I tell you what I've got used to doing is doing voice notes on WhatsApp, especially when I do my welcome calls. And I often do that because they hear my voice, my passion, my intonation. And what I'm doing is empowering them that they can call me back when it's convenient to them. And I haven't been that person that's just sprung on them up impromptu. Because you know, when you ring someone, you never know what situation they're in. With a mobile, come on, guys, they could be on the loo, they could be driving, they could be doing anything. They could be in Tesco's. And you know what? Our call is just a little bit of a niggle then. It's a bit of a pain. So actually, voice WhatsApp notes are really, really good. We are giving them the power to call us back. But what they're hearing is that we care. We're making an effort, we're caring, and we're keeping in touch. So I'm about to do one of these to somebody that's kind of gone very quiet and not yet a QD. Mel know who it is that I'm on about. And I'm going to do another one because I've realised I did 2 supporteds with this lady, and both of them, these particular people, were no for nows. Their contracts are running out now. We're October, and I bet she's just forgotten. And I'm going to say, come on, let's get them back in. And actually, that's a powerful way to do it. So, guys, that is a little bit more about the whole recruiting thing. We're going to do some more, if you don't mind, next week. I'm going to really sort of home in on this because there is just so much to it. Please, if you don't do anything from the things that I impart with you, then this was just entertainment. What I suggest is that you click on those 2 videos I showed you. The one that shows initially Derek Thomas and Emma Sullivan, that's only about 10 minutes. And then the next one is Wes talking about Guptas and explaining. Really, really good. Very, very powerful. All right. So, guys, lovely to see you all. See you all again next week. Same time, same place, in front of the screen. And yeah, I shall say bye-zy bye.
Thank you.
Lisa,
Bye.
thank you.